All right, 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Just gotta go straight for it. Just gotta go straight for it. Oh God, oh, get the back, get the back. Why do I do the things that I do?
I took cold showers for 30 days. Here's how it went. So why am I doing this? Well, I'm asking myself the same question, but let me explain. So if you're someone like me that spends a lot of time on the internet, you've probably noticed that cold exposure is one of the most growing topics, I'd say, in the past handful of years.
I took a cold plunge for 30 days and this is what happened.
Ice baths, cold plunges, and cold showers are something many people were trying out lately, with discussions as being an extremely beneficial thing to do for many reasons, including benefits with mental and physical health. So, the reason people take cold showers are for the benefits. What are the benefits?
So a group of 3,000 Dutch study participants voluntarily concluded their daily showers with 30-second, 60 or 90-second blasts of chilly water for 30 consecutive days, and they found that those who did this were less likely to take sick days off. I have to say, I'm a big fan of this.
Just 2 minutes of a cold shower boosts your immune system, which results in you less likely to become sick. It helps increase your blood flow. It activates the sympathetic nervous system, which boosts your mood. I noticed that while yes, it was miserable being in the freezing cold water, once I turned the water off and got out of the shower, my skin was tingling, my brain felt more alert, and I just had this feeling of feeling amazing. It helps reduce inflammation in your brain and in your body, and simply, it wakes you up. And those are just a couple of the things I've learned.
Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down.
So at this point in time, I'm pretty sure just about everybody's heard of Wim Hof, especially if you've ever done any research into cold exposure. But I cannot make this video without bringing him up. Wim Hof is a known advocate for the many benefits of cold exposure and exercises and breath work.
What happens if you take a cold shower every day? The heart rate is gonna go down with 20-30 beats a minute, 24 hours a day. That means stress is gone.
He has stated that he's completely eliminated anxiety and stress from his body by consistently practicing these methods. This has been coined as the Wim Hof method, which is also the title of his New York Times best-selling book. He's been titled as the Iceman and has pushed boundaries and has gone far beyond what many people think human beings are actually capable of. Wim has even undergone studies where he's purposely been injected with certain types of illnesses and has completely eliminated them from his body through the power of breath work and cold exposure. Wim has now become so popular that it's a common occurrence where people go and spend time living with him and practicing his methods. Alright, so with science-backed studies literally performed by Wim Hof stating that cold exposure can help reduce anxiety and depression, well, for someone like me that deals with that on a regular basis, why would I not give this a try and see if it helps me out? That's the first reason why I chose to do this. The second reason is, I'm an advocate for doing things outside of my comfort zone. And being cold and wet is, honest to God, one of my least favorite things of all time and is extremely uncomfortable. Probably nothing more uncomfortable than taking a cold shower. So why not do it every day for 30 days? Because doing things out of our comfort zone helps us grow as people. And lastly, number 3 is just simply for experimental purposes. Are there really benefits to doing this? Did I feel the benefits? What was it like? What did I learn? What did I experience? Things like that. So let me tell you about it.
Okay, so I just woke up. I'm about a week into this challenge right now. And the past few days I've been feeling really just not mentally great and just really blah. To be honest, I just would love to take a bath and stare at TikTok videos, but I'm going to push myself to do this. There's nothing about me right now that wants to get a cold shower, but I made a commitment to myself and I'm gonna push myself to do it. So this has been one of the hardest days so far, but here we go. I hate this, man. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Woo! The back is the worst part. I don't know why, to me, but the back is the worst part. Woo! Oh, God. I did it. It wasn't fun, but I did it. And that's all that matters.
So when I first started this, I didn't really know kind of how to go about it. How long do I take a cold shower? How cold is cold? And here's some of the tips that I've learned.
Just cold enough to be uncomfortable is a good place to start.
Honestly, the best way to go about it is by A, increasing the cold temperature little by little, and B, increasing the time that you're in that cold temperature. So start off by taking your normal hot shower, and then maybe for the last 30 seconds, put it on cold. And then the next day, put it on cold for 45 seconds, and then 60 seconds, and then increase all the way up to 2 minutes. Through the research and some YouTube videos that I've saw, it seems like 2 minutes is kind of the sweet spot and where it's beneficial for taking a cold shower.
Cold shower a day keeps the doctor away. I recommend 2 minutes.
If you're somebody that's never taken a cold shower before, you don't want to just necessarily jump into ice cold, freezing showers. It can honestly shock your system and not be that beneficial for you. So you want to gradually, get your body used to what you are doing. And then once you've overcome that sensation and that overwhelm, then start pushing yourself to get into straight cold rather than starting hot and ending cold. Just get into straight cold. And that for me was kind of at like the 2-week mark. And that's where it got to be quite challenging, especially in the mornings when you wake up and you're tired and you just still want to be warm and cozy in your bed, and there's nothing you want less than to just jump in a freezing cold shower. I will say that it helps wake you the hell up, that's for sure.
Everything's okay. I'm a normal person, doing normal things, just getting freezing cold showers.
So if you've ever taken a cold shower before, I definitely won't be the first to tell you that it's not quite enjoyable. But at the same weird time, it is kind of satisfying. Whenever I would get done and I would get out, it like did something to my skin. It made me feel really soothed and relaxed. It invigorated me and kind of stimulated my brain and body. And at least for the next 30 minutes to an hour after I got done, I felt really good. And it was like a really good way to kind of jumpstart my day. And the more I did this, I started to develop this like thought process in my brain that this will be the hardest and most challenging thing I will do today. And when I got done and got out, it kind of like helped me feel a little bit accomplished because it was challenging and it was uncomfortable, and hopefully that was the hardest thing I will do that day. And so I kind of went into my day with a little bit more sense of an ease. It kind of definitely helped me feel a bit more accomplished whenever I kind of got it over with. And so I touched upon this a little bit earlier, the anxiety and depression aspect. And I have to say that for at least the couple minutes that you're in the shower, there's no overthinking or intrusive thoughts or anxiety because you are not thinking about anything but getting through that shower. You're not dwelling on yesterday, what you said to this person or what you have to do the rest of the day. You're just thinking about the cold water on your skin, getting through that shower and what you have to do to regulate yourself. And at least for, the brief handful of minutes that you're going through that, it does help with your anxiety. And I have to say that it kind of, helps a little bit throughout the rest of the day. But yeah, there were some positives in that. So I'm a person that's been pretty open about my struggles with anxiety, and I'm actually on a new medication right now, and its sole purpose is to boost serotonin and norepinephrine. If you're unfamiliar with what those are, they are neurotransmitter chemicals in your brain that, according to Google, these chemicals help combat antidepressant effects and have therapeutic benefits. Serotonin is also called the feel-good hormone, and norepinephrine improves alertness and energy. Now, I'm taking a pill to improve these things, whereas I actually just found through some research that taking a cold shower can boost norepinephrine naturally up to 200%. I just had to share that because I thought it was extremely fascinating and crazy. It just goes to show that we like pump our bodies with all these different chemicals and pills and things like that when there's things out there that can, do things naturally. And now, obviously some people do need certain medications, but there's also ways to improve things in your body completely naturally by what you eat and what you do. And yeah, that's just pretty insane that cold exposure can boost norepinephrine that much. All right, so I officially wrapped up the 30 days of cold shower. I am glad that's over with and ready to get to some warm showers, but there are definitely days, a lot of days, where I actually think I'm gonna start making that a part of my daily routine, some cold showers. But no better shirt to wear than Seek Discomfort by my group, Yes Theory. And I wanna wrap up this video by just talking about a few things that I learned while doing this challenge. The first one is, it's just cold water. It's just cold water. It's honestly not that big of a deal. Just jump in and do it. You're not gonna die. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but honestly, after 3 seconds, it's over with. And you just get this sense, this overwhelming sense of just, hell yeah, let's freaking do this. Let's get it done. That leads me to my second point, is that you feel great. Afterwards, you feel great and you feel a sense of accomplishment. And like I said, you go throughout your day with a little bit more of an ease because you accomplished something and you know that that day, probably that's something that will have been the most challenging and uncomfortable thing that you will have done that day. Something to keep in mind is it gets easier the more you do it. Honestly, first couple days are hard, but once you start to adjust and once you start to get used to kind of what you're expecting, you know, jumping into that cold water, it gets easier day after day, the more you do it. And there was a few days where I actually kind of looked forward to it, just because I knew the rush it was gonna give me in the sense of like feeling I was gonna get afterwards. The next is kind of just a tip, you know, I touched a little bit about it, but it's start with what you can handle and just gradually increase the temperature and time you are exposed to the cold water. I've learned that showers are apparently a lot different than cold plunges, and maybe I will try that next and make a 30-day video of cold plunges. But yeah, showers were hard enough, so I can't even imagine taking an ice bath or something like that. And lastly, it's just another reminder that the more things that we do outside of our comfort zone, the more we grow as people. I wholeheartedly believe that. That's why I represent Seek Discomfort. And yeah, it was challenging, but I definitely think that, you know, I went through a lot of feelings and emotions doing this, and it was ultimately great. And I'm gonna try to start making this a part of my routine in my life. Maybe not every single day, but definitely, at least a few times a week. I'm gonna get a cold shower, push myself. And yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Come back and watch my future videos, and yeah, hit that subscribe button. Peace out.